Happy quarantine, everybody. Hope everyone is staying distance from each other. We are, just kind of trying to kill time as it lays. So, um, nothing going on. We are now in social distancing until April 30th. So, even less going on. My two shows in June that I had with Clash of the Comics, and then the other one I have no in Mason City. I have no idea um, if those are going to be going on now, um, because Trump is saying he's hoping we're up and running by June. So I don't know if I it's gonna be it's gonna be real obvious that those are gonna be canceled if there's only a short amount of time that comics are even able to go up and practice at all before being able to do it. And so it's looking like they're probably going to be canceled. Um, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, obviously that is like the least concerning thing. There are a lot of levels of this being bad. Obviously, people have died. Um, don't want. Oh, I got the hiccups. I don't want to take anything away from that at all. It's just yeah. It's a bummer. Yeah, I was on my first shows. And now all the mics are they're not running, so no one can do anything. Uh, I'm just working on getting people onto the podcast, making some kind of content to I don't know, kill time. I'm getting caught up on stuff, that's for sure. We just finally got uploaded to YouTube. That's official. That's actually the most exciting thing that's happened to me in the last month. Is we got uploaded to YouTube. Fucking yeah, I'm going bored out of my mind and slowly. So yeah, as many of us are. But I finally figured out how to get onto YouTube, and literally took 3 days between making the videos and getting it on there. But I know that when it's very common for people to say, "Oh, the SoundCloud rapper, it's the bad thing." But if you're but I haven't heard, oh, the SoundCloud podcaster is a bad thing. But I figured I'd just get ahead of the curve. I need to get on something else, to give people another option. A lot of people like listening to stuff on YouTube, so got that all ready to go for you. Um, yeah, follow our pages, our social media pages. Obviously, again, with not much going on, I can't really promote anything on there. So I'll probably try to just promote podcasts and other online things. So, yeah. Um, I think that's it. You know, um, everyone's staying away from each other, but we're all finding a way to still perform in some kind of aspect. Like, it's kind of funny to think about how comedians are just like so like performers are so in the groove of things that they're just like, fuck it, let's just perform to six people in a group chat, and we'll put it on Facebook Live, and then like you can't even see any of them, so you're only performing to the people in the group chat, even if there are more, and so it's like maybe 15 at the most, including you. So it is what it is, though. It kind of seems sad. There's like there's a perspective on it that makes it seem kind of desperate, for sure. Like, oh, we just couldn't not perform and have people give us admiration for a while. And I say this as someone who has been participating, so I'm not trying to throw shade. You know what I mean? It's just a funny thing that crossed my mind. So yeah, you know what? I say fuck it. Do what you can. Podcasts are a big thing right now, just because people don't have anything to do. So yeah, we just had Matt Lamb on last week. He's got his Monster Jamboree podcast. So now's a good time to catch up on horror movies, and then you can hear him and his roommate Eric talk about them. Sometimes complain about them. sometimes occasionally side tangent on something that the movie reminds him of that has that's actually not involved with the movie. It's a funny podcast. Monster Jamboree. Find that on streaming platforms. It's also at punandgame.com, which I like the name of. It's cool that he got that locked down. So check that out. And then Matt Lamb, obviously, when the mics start up again, do comedy out there. But other than that, yeah, we got, Sinister Carney. Check out his music on streaming platforms as well. Then other than that, the Doomcast with Dan Umpthin, if you're into comic book type things and Comic-Con type things. I couldn't think of the phrase for a second. And on this episode we have Coldsaint. Coldsaint is a local rapper from Des Moines, currently from Des Moines. He's moving back to where did he say? I can't remember now. Well, he says it in the episode. So Coldsaint, Coldsaint, one word. Real name Noah David, I believe. And so sounds bad. I should probably have it studied, but I'm kind of making this on the whim. But yeah, he's a really cool dude. He's about 19, so he's really young. But he's really pursuing, what he wants to do. So he talks a lot about how he does work with kids and work with anti-bullying, and that's a big message that he has. He doesn't swear, so it's the kind of music you don't have to worry about your kids listening to. If they do like hip-hop, it's just him talking about working hard and not bullying, and having a hard upbringing. So it's something to actually encourage and actually endorse. So I was really happy to have him on. He's a really cool guy. He's been doing music for really his whole life. Yeah, Noah David St. John is his real name. He's been doing music for a long time. So it was a pretty natural evolution for him. And I just really loved his message, and I decided to have him on. Follow him online, Coldsaint, everywhere. Look up his music. He is on SoundCloud. I think, God, no. I really think that is it this time. I want to keep going about stuff. There's nothing to talk about, really. Just going nuts. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Follow us, subscribe to our YouTube page, and follow us on SoundCloud. We do have a few episodes up on Spotify and Breaker and stuff. But Anchor is weird, and I'm going to be switching hosts, so there will be detailed episodes on there soon, and Apple Music soon, and a website. All things happening slowly. Follow us online. They Came from the Underground, TCFT Podcast on Twitter, because it was too long. All right, let's just get into it. Once again, I present to you Coldsaint.
For most of my life, I've been making this music, strategizing, writing so my lyrics come ruthless. Gotta keep on grinding, there's no time for excuses. Gotta keep on trying, all my life is just useless. I'm so sick of being so sick of my life. I gotta make a change and I'ma do it tonight. I do not care if I'm wrong or I'm right. I gotta do what it takes to get me out of this plight. I've been down, side effect of my choices. Everything that happened in the past is pointless. Family is drama and the friends never listen. So I focus all I got to rise above competition. Tackle my objectives till I finish the mission. Story of my life, can I get your attention? Let me tell you a story about how I grew up. When I finally decided that enough is enough. Age 12, I was so confused. Bullied and depressed and had a lot to lose. But determined and convinced that I got.
All right, cool. Welcome to They Came from the Underground. I got Coldsaint sitting in with us here today. Go ahead and say hello. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
Not too bad. I appreciate you making the trip down here. You're from the Des Moines area?
Yeah, I'm from Norwalk, Iowa, actually.
Oh, you're from Norwalk. All right,
like
you're still from there. Right on.
South of Des Moines.
Very nice. And you were born there?
Born in Indianola, but I was
you?
raised in Norwalk.
Okay, right on. How long have you lived in Norwalk?
Ever since I was 10. I mean, last year I just moved to Des Moines, but I'm looking to move back to Norwalk as soon as I can.
Oh, right on. Nice. What's the reason for the move back to Norwalk?
Uh, our lease was up, and I got different roommates. So
That makes sense, yeah. Yes, but I basically had to move out of my place, and excuse me, pop back in here for a short time because my landlord literally like I had a garage as part of my thing, and he just gave all my shit away, and then was like charging us like for all this shit, and I don't know, it's a whole long thing.
sounds like it.
Yeah, no, but it was shitty. But yeah, welcome. And so Coldsaint is a rapper from the Norwalk and currently Des Moines for a short time area. And you've been rapping since you were about 14, 13 or 14?
I've been rapping since I was 10, but it got really
10?
serious when I was 14. I did this talent show in Norwalk. All the kids used to make fun of me because I wanted to be a rapper, and I'm
Right,
some
yeah.
white kid from Norwalk. So, but
I get that.
but I was like, oh, I'm gonna prove them all wrong. So I went to go do the talent show, and I made it to the finals by 1 vote. And then when I went to the finals, I changed the song, and I did this whole song talking about my depression and my problems in school, and I just put it out there in front of the entire school.
Hell yeah.
I won by like a landslide.
Really?
And ever since then, I was like, this is what I want to do.
You gotta love that though. That it started out with making fun, you put it in, and then the amount of support that came out of it.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely one of those. You kind of call that like a sort of like that little underdog beginning. Where it's like, oh shit, like we spoke too soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And where did the name Coldsaint come from?
So Cold, like, growing up, I had a lot of I don't know if you read my bio or not, but
I did. I just did actually. Yeah.
My mom, when I was 12, she came in my room. She told me she had cancer, and things kind of went south from there. Then she kind of developed a drinking problem, and so did her boyfriends that she was bringing home, and they were really abusive. And after a while, after I got homeless and everything, I was just like, that's the cold part. And then Saint is like, not religious necessarily, but like I didn't cope with drugs. I didn't cope with fighting and doing a bunch of reckless stuff. I coped with music that helps me and helps others that were in my shoes. So like I make relatable music, and I feel like that's the Saint part because I like to do that help me help you kind of thing.
Right. I like that. That does come from a very kind of Saint perspective of choosing to go the creative route and make something that can be used for even a long period of time. Years from now, it's something that once it's put out there, it lives, and so once it's found, it can be. You never know how it's going to speak to somebody far more than because fighting is very much like a very selfish kind of way of dealing with things because you're actually hurting someone else at the same time.
Yeah.
Including getting hurt, and so it's definitely I would say it's working backwards, but some people really like to throw hands, but yeah, the creative outlet is. It's the ultimate form of like, especially music is the ultimate like self-expression, and so But have you always had an interest in music? Did it start from a real young age?
It was always music. I mean, it was actually when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a rock star.
Oh yeah. Hey, I definitely the same thing. Yeah.
I definitely ain't got the voice to be a rock star.
No.
But and then I wanted to do country, and then
oh really?
Around 10 or 11, I saw these music videos, and I was like, ooh, I'm like, rap is kind of cool. I'm like, I like that. And
it catches your eye.
I started playing around with it, and I was garbage when I started out, like entirely.
I would definitely argue everyone is,
But I pretty much just stuck to rapping for the most part. I've never really wanted to change. That's always been my thing.
Right on. And it is it does go to say that a lot of rappers have said that they wish they could be singers, but they like couldn't sing or something.
I can kind of sing, but
can't kind of sing. So then it's always something you can factor in. You know what I'm saying? It's always something you can do.
Definitely not no rock though.
No, but yeah, there is always there's always different shit you can do too. You can make with mixing in rock elements. You can always go big. I can make a real big song if you can get in like kind of a rock sound, but with a hip hop beat behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like that goes to say if that was even something you want to do. I'm not. If it's something you don't want to do, it's probably not going to sound good if you force yourself. But it's definitely an option for you. Something to experiment with because I started off that way too. It was all about rock and punk and all that. I was never into country, but now I would say I majority listen to hip hop. But yeah, who are your influences in music?
Growing up, it was Eminem.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. Yeah.
But I really like NF a lot.
Well, I guarantee you that is I I can say I also like cautiously approach saying Eminem too. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
it's always it's always a weird thing to be like, yeah, like I really like Eminem. And the reaction is always like, white boy.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Like,
And,
fucking,
you know,
of
it
course
doesn't help
it's
my
Eminem.
case that every
Yeah.
time I get off stage, I can't go without someone go, "You kind of sound like Eminem." And I'm just like, thanks, I guess. I mean, I'd rather be him than
Right.
Vanilla Ice, I guess.
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
trying to do me right now.
That's
so.
honestly, that's a great way to look at it. That's a glass half full way of looking at things. At
But,
least it's not fucking Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, I
you
really
go.
I really mostly listen to like NF, MGK, some Hobson, sometimes some Logic too.
Oh,
But,
right on. Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, I mean, I actually really like NF myself too, and he comes from such a real place. It's hard. I think it's hard to. Okay, I get it. I think it's hard to argue against against his music. She usually is not this active, but I think it's just like in the middle of the day, and yeah. She's trying to get her ball. So never mind. I got my dog in here with us.
Got the dog in the studio.
Yeah, is what it is. She'd be like sitting at the door if I like hadn't let her in. So it's something I have to. It's just to like satisfy her, because otherwise she either like whines from behind the door or like pops up and like smacks the door handle and opens the door on her own and gets in anyway. Then I gotta get up and close the door. So yeah, it's just to save time. Yeah. So NF. No, he's very real, and so he doesn't swear. He's just like talks about himself, and you know he's just a very much about the craft kind of person, and all that. So it's a good icon to be. It's like maybe they're white, but who cares? Like at that, but but it's real enough. Like who cares?
Yeah.
It surpasses it. But yeah, and then who were you listening to? Who else were you listening to growing up? You said you like rock and stuff, and so like where you started out in rock? Who were you listening to?
I mean, I was real little, but I liked Stone Sour growing up and
Oh,
Nickelback.
yeah.
You know,
Those are huge when I was growing up. Yeah.
I liked Breaking Benjamin, Alice in Chains.
Other great ones, yeah.
But you know, I didn't listen to. I mean, Linkin Park, obviously. Like,
Oh,
who doesn't
yeah,
like
definitely.
Linkin Park, but,
Right. Yeah, they give you a good mix of everything. Linkin Park's a good introduction to sort of it's maybe not a good introduction, but it's kind of like a good way to transition yourself into other types of hip hop. Is listening to Linkin Park, because at least they got those breakdowns. You're like, yeah, I kind of like how that sounds, and you can start checking out the other stuff. But it's it is definitely one of those things you have where you just kind of go with where I went with a lot of what my parents were listening to. Like they listened to a lot of 80s rock and like Eminem and and all that, and so I naturally was listening to that. But yeah, I mean, again, like it's always funny to me to see people be like, "Oh, fuck, you listen to Eminem," but you listen to you said Eminem, MGK, NF, and then Logic.
Yep.
Right on. Those are I was worried I was gonna forget one. MGK and Eminem. Where did you stand on that?
Oh God. I'm gonna put it this way. I respect MGK for, you know, he basically
Right.
you know, he socked a legend in the mouth. And, you know, he had some brass balls doing that.
Right.
But you know, I really think Eminem turned around and, you know, cut those brass balls right off. So personally, that's what I think. You know, I like both of them. So I mean, to be honest, no, my love didn't change for either one of the artists. But I thought it was cool just to see two of them clash like that.
Yeah.
So
that was definitely the most exciting part, is just seeing it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I agree with you on maybe it was that I just really wasn't a fan of MGK, but I agree with your verdict there as well. But yeah, it definitely came out of some weird shit. Oh God, excuse me again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut it out. We're gonna pretend it never happened. But basically, I remember I was just I have argued with people a lot about all kinds of things hip hop, and but at the end of the day, I was just like, I'm not even like a fan of MGK, so I just like say Eminem because I'm like, I just already like him.
Yeah. No.
And then people are like, but like did you actually hear it? I'm like, yeah, still I don't care. And then Nick Cannon has been going after was going after Eminem there for a minute, and if you actually listen to his diss tracks, everyone he had on his were also dissing Nick Cannon. And, like while they were they're all going after Eminem, but they would all just be like, we're all defending, like you're even getting dissed by this fucking Nickelodeon host, or they were just they were all making fun of Nick Cannon on the track that Nick Cannon was making to diss Eminem. Well, like they would kind of throw some at Eminem, but it just backfired heavily. Did you hear about did you hear about that one at all?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I guess he came out with like 4 or 5 songs against Eminem, where he did like 8 lines and then had like as many other rappers as he could find get on to insult him. But yeah, no, it's just a ridiculous thing. What are your thoughts on hip hop today with like mumble rap and that sort of thing?
Definitely not a mumble rap fan. I mean, I guess it works for them, so good for you. You're making money, but I think it's kind of whack that mumble rappers get put on the spot and then real rappers get shelved. Like,
very true.
I think that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But I respect all music, like whatever it is. I don't have to be a fan of it. Mumble rap, actually, no, I don't really respect mumble rap. I think it's kind of whack, but
I do too.
That's just how I feel.
Right. Yeah. I think it's basically hip hop. It's like bouncy background music. Like if you want to, I think it's the kind of thing where if you're listening to it, you don't give a shit about what they're saying, and they don't care. They don't give a shit what they're saying either.
I mean, it just sounds dope. Put a hard beat to it, and everybody's like, "Oh, this goes hard."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's that whole thing. So would you call yourself what would you say that you're a very lyrical person? Like you're listening to what the artist is saying.
Yeah, I'd like to consider myself like lyrical, but
right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that I've learned a lot. Is there are a lot of people who just like they just like the beat. They don't care. They don't give. They could be anybody behind it. They could be saying anything at all, and then they could literally it's likely they could cheer on the KKK for like 3 seconds, and then everyone would like bump it and share it with their friends and not realize what they're saying in the song. No. It's one of those things that I've always thought would be funny to see go around. Like hear the new hit going around that features Nazism in the in the second verse. Yeah, that's one of those things. How long ago? When did you? So you started taking hip hop seriously around you said about 13 or 14, and then when did you write your first song? Would you say?
My first song was probably around 13 or 14.
About that same
y'all
time.
ain't gonna be able to find it anymore. That's why
No.
I used to still swear in my raps.
Oh, really?
I don't now. So
Right on.
I deleted that. But no, I mean, right now I'm working on a lot of tracks, but I'm also trying to build a budget. I'm supposed to be going down to Texas to break a single.
Oh, really?
But I gotta raise a pretty decent budget.
What are you trying to raise?
Like 25 grand.
Oh wow, okay. That is
I'm working on it
budget.
though.
Definitely.
But no, right now I've just been working on. I do a lot of school tours. So I mean, I was just at Meredith Middle School and Hoover High School the other day doing assembly. So I do a lot of anti-bully speaking as well as inspirational rap music to the kids. Wow. And I've been working with this nonprofit called Hip Hope.
Hip Hope.
Yep, and basically they provide hope where hopelessness prevails for youth. And I'm with their Music Saves program, representing the anti-bully advocacy part of it. And since I've been working with them, I travel a lot. Like I went on tour around Thailand last year.
Wow, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I did read that. That's very interesting.
It was pretty lit. I plan on going back this year at some point, and a couple other countries as well, but those aren't really as set in stone just yet.
Not set in stone yet.
We were actually supposed to go to China 2 months ago. I had the plane tickets paid for. We were on their schedule. But then
the coronavirus.
No, that's actually not what happened.
No?
There was actually an argument between our lawyers and the Chinese government. So I could have gone. We could have just gone to China anyways and done something else, but I'm glad we didn't, because shortly after we hear about all this coronavirus stuff, and who knows how long it's actually been going down there prior to the news.
True. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I do a lot with hip hop, so you know, they've been helping me make money. You know, I've been learning everything I know about the industry.
Right.
They've set me up to go up to some conferences up in Atlanta and Chicago. You know, hip hop's pretty cool. If you guys haven't heard of it, I suggest checking it out at
Yeah.
hiphopinc.org.
Hiphope.org. Right on.
Hiphopinc.org.
Hiphopinc.org. Hell yeah, man. And that's something that I can plug in the like the post and everything for this
Cool.
as well. Yeah, definitely. And then I also read you were involved with the Stale movement. What was
yes.
that? What does Stale stand for?
So STALE stands for Starving Artists Let's Eat.
Oh,
And
okay.
and this is probably gonna make me go on a little rant here, but
Well,
so
yeah,
I
talk
started with Stale when I was like 16, 17. And the funny thing is, my first time going there is I screwed up on stage. You know, this is before I really have my showmanship down. I
Yeah.
screwed up on stage and I
Oh,
left,
yeah.
and I never went. I was like, I ain't going back.
Really?
You know, something in my head
Yeah.
told me you got to go back.
I get
And
that.
so I went back in there, put on a show. They have judges it was an every Monday thing. They had judges at the end of it, and they critique you, and they just like they help you build your craft. And you know, after a while going there, that's what introduced me to hip hop, because I got introduced with my manager, Bo James, and you know, he's been very helpful in my career. But you know, he got me in with hip hop, and you know, Stale opened up a lot of doors for me. And you know, what they were trying to do is they were trying to turn Des Moines from a music scene to a music industry. And you know, that's been a problem because you know, we got a lot of great talent, like
We
tons
do.
of great talent here. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing.
Very true.
But we need people that are trying to, you know, trying to really get it in. Like,
Exactly.
a lot of people are coming out here and they get mad at me because I'm trying to make money doing what I do. And I'm like, I don't do this as a hobby. Like, this is my career.
Yeah.
Like, when I perform, I don't
Oh, yeah.
perform for free. Obviously, I got love for the music, but you know, love ain't gonna put out my single. Like,
No.
it's gonna cost me some money.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of these artists, like they don't want to sell the tickets. They don't want to put together like sponsorship packages,
Right,
all
yeah.
that stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. Like, I try putting on shows, and it's hard finding artists that'll you know, help bring heads in the
Right,
door.
yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not crapping on any of you guys. I'm saying like y'all are dope, but like I feel like we just have a music scene, and we need a music industry, and we need people that are
I
willing to
agree.
hustle. Like, we all got to be hungry. Like,
Mhm.
I'm hungry. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
You're right,
get my
exactly.
meal. Like, that's what I'm trying to eat right now.
Yeah, man, you're involved in
And,
a lot of things, and that's what it shows.
you know,
It very much shows that.
the artists get mad at me all the time because they're like, "Oh, I want to do a collab with you," but I'm like, "All right, well, it's gonna cost this much," and I'm like, "Why would it cost that much? Like, aren't you passionate?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm passionate." But like,
Yeah.
and they
That's
try
why
to,
it costs.
I try to mentor people, and I try to tell them like, you know, I mean, I've sunk 20 grand into my career last year, like 19 or 20 grand, and that's mostly
Just in the 1 year?
Yeah, and that's
Wow.
a lot of it was just going and learning everything I've been
Yeah.
trying to learn. I try to stay ahead of the curve, like going to
Exactly.
those conferences and
Yeah.
you know, getting consultation.
That's how
And,
doctors do it. Yeah, you always,
know-
every 6 months they learn new shit to keep up.
I'll tell these artists, I'll be all like, you gotta get money to be able to, like, you know, start your career. You gotta be able to
Exactly.
get a
Yep.
team put together and all that. And they'll be all like, "Nah, man, you just gotta be passionate. It ain't about the money." And I'm like, "Well, of course you gotta be passionate. Absolutely, you gotta be passionate. Like, why are you doing it if you're not passionate about the
Yeah.
music? But you also gotta be business. Like, music ain't just music. It's a business."
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I tell people I'm a business. Like, I'm not just Coldsaint. I am a whole business. I'm a businessman.
Right.
And
I agree with that.
they'll be all like, "Well, I'm passionate, so I'll get my record deal." And I'm like, "Bro, if you walk into that record company and you're all like, 'Hey, I'm passionate, give me $2 million,' they're gonna tell you to leave."
Yeah.
So,
They got something that
but,
might be worth $2 million,
you know,
like around the corner.
I think we got what it takes. I just think we need to inform these artists a little more, and I
Right.
think we could have a really good music industry going here up in Iowa.
We definitely
I
could.
think it could be dope.
Hell yeah, and we definitely could. And and that's why they need the artists that have your kind of passion that gets the ball rolling for everyone else. Because I've met a lot of artists. Yeah, sorry about that. I got a lint roller on the way out if you need
That's
it. But basically, what happened? I've said that there's a good number of people in Ames, at least, because I'm very familiar with the music scene here. Because it's a very indie music scene, but there's a lot of people who act like they don't want to be famous. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that, like they get mad at you for treating it like a career, and then they just like spend and they just like do open mics and then never actually like try to do it. They never make anything to promote themselves. They just they'll write this music and they don't do anything, and then they get mad at you when you do that thing. And so I feel like you're quite familiar with that person. And that's it's a problem. It can be a real problem because it holds a lot of people back, and they could very well be, and if, at the same time they could be supportive. At the same time, they don't even if they're choosing not to do it, they can still like help out with the artists who are choosing to. There's always so it's something that it's something that if you want to be involved in, there's 100 ways you can be involved. You just have to actually fucking give the effort. So I agree. So yeah, that's awesome that you're getting involved in the charities, especially doing motivational, maybe not motivational speaking, but the anti-bullying speaking and that sort of thing, because that's definitely a problem that I think is. I'm not. Yeah, obviously, I don't know if it's gotten any better. But.
I mean, I know I talk to a lot of kids on a daily basis. Like, I got kids blowing up my phone all the time because I work my own socials. I mean, I'm not popping like that. So, I mean, I run my own stuff.
You don't have like a social media department.
Yeah, I have kids messaging my Instagram all the time. And, I think the reason I connect with these kids so well is because, one, I'm 19. So I think they just like me because I'm young. But at the same time, they know everything that they say to me is going to be confidential and that I'm not going to intrude in their life and do anything without their permission. Now, if you give me the green light, I'm all up in it. Like, let's get this figured out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I grew up with all those abusive stepdads, and those were my bullies. Like, that was my bully. When I think bully, I don't just think, oh, I'm at school and, these kids are making fun of me. No, I mean, anywhere you go, like there's bullies everywhere, haters, doubters, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. Like, and everywhere. So I go into the schools and I just try to like talk to these kids. And like every time I hop off a stage, it's my goal to make sure that whoever's listening to my music feels less alone. Cause I know a lot of people don't have that voice. They don't know how to express themselves. And I just want to I want to speak on their behalf. I want to express for them so they can like get through what they're trying to get through and use my music to do that, or just talk to me. Like, you don't have to listen to my music to talk to me about whatever you're going through. Like, I'm here. And that's what I like to tell those kids. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, exactly. That's a very powerful message to have, and being the presence, like really being there. That's really everything. That you hear a lot of people say is they want to feel it if they want to feel like someone's there, and obviously not everyone works out for everyone. Not a lot of time. I remember learning like back in the day that like when social media started popping with all the middle schoolers or whatever I was, I'm only like 5 years older than you. My brother was born in '99, and he's also a rapper. His name's Jay Versus. You might run into him out on the scene there.
Oh, cool.
And I'll probably tell him about you too, and be like, you check him out, see what you think, and all that. You're coming and you're playing. You're playing in? Did you already play in Des Moines recently? Was it at Lefties?
Yeah, I like to see Lefties. All right, I throw my shows at Lefties. Whenever I'm in Des Moines, it's more than likely going to be at Lefties.
Right on. I love Lefties
because they got the best sound system in
Big
Des Moines.
Time, man.
Like, I don't care. Everywhere I've been, it's not as good as Lefties. All right, they got the best sound guy, Brad, down there. He's dope. He knows how to run the lights. He knows how to run your sound. He's gonna make sure you're taken care of.
Yeah.
And they conduct business so well. All right. Like, I like being able to go in and talk face to face. All right. When I go and I want to do business with somebody and I'm like, yo, how much money am I gonna have to pay you? Like, what are we doing? And like they let you come in. A lot of other venues, they're like, no, I want to email you, and I got this whole I can't put like a face to who I'm talking to right now.
Right.
And like, don't get me wrong, like those other venues are cool. I'm just saying, like, Lefties is my favorite place to do it at.
Hell yeah.
And that's, like I said, that's where Stale started. That was at Lefties, and so Lefties is kind of where my career started getting professional.
That's
and
dope.
I threw a show. It was my On the Come Up show. It was pretty dope. We had, maybe 110, 140 people there.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
It was pretty decent. Yeah, we had Black Friday up on stage opening up, Common Knowledge and Sky Crow.
Oh, I know. I just had Sky Crow on recently.
Sky Crow's dope. Yeah, he's a really good DJ too.
Oh yeah,
I like having him DJ my shows.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He has he can go. Like, he can really go. It's perfect. It was great that he could talk, he can like really talk, and like he has like a lot of things to say, and it was like we hadn't really talked before it was going, but I had to do him and Carney and Sinister
Oh,
Carney.
Carney, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was at the show too because he was collabing with Skycrow.
Yeah, yep.
Carney's cool. When I was
I love those guys.
headlining the Gen Z at 8035 last year, the Gen Z stage.
Yeah.
We had Carney and
Oh, hell
Skycrow
yeah.
on the show.
That's dope, man. That's how I got to know them was through shows. Was at Vaudeville Muse and Lefties. And so that's and then perform and then Brad is friends with my brother, and so that helped out. They've been on shows together too. Yeah, man, that's dope. I had them here at the same time, and I only had so much time to do with both of them, because instead of just doing the one where we could just go, I had to cut it. I had to swap off. So I was like, man, you gotta come back. You just gotta come back sometime. Because he was like teaching me all kinds of shit, because he's like actually been producing music for a long time, and I just started doing this. And so I've been doing it a few months now, but he was teaching me a lot of shit, so I was like, fuck, man, I wish we had more time. But yeah, so he'll be coming in again soon, and I'll be getting set up to have multiple mics going and everything, so so maybe I'll have you guys all come in together. But, obviously things for the future. Anyway, yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, how long have you how long have you known those guys?
Man, how long have I known Skycrow? At least a couple years. I mean, I'm pretty sure we met at Stale. I think, a lot of the artists that I still like link up with are from Stale.
Oh yeah.
I can't say I know how long exactly. I know I've known Skycrow longer than all those guys.
Right.
But, yeah. I've known Carney at least a year, since he was on 8035 last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, they're all cool. They're cool artists. They're fun to work with.
Yeah, they're nice dudes. And kind of like when I was talking to Carney, I kind of got a feel for his backstory, and it really made a lot, and his demeanor made a lot more sense, and so that was good to find out about him. And then Skycrow, because he kind of came in low. He kind of had like some low energy, but he was like, yeah, man, I'm like dealing with all this shit.
Skycrow?
No, Carney.
Oh, I was about to say Skycrow with low energy. That don't make no sense.
No, yeah, me and Skycrow were making fun of Carney a lot about about the Italian thing. We kept giving him shit. It was one of those things where it's like it's not even that funny, but when you see him like reacting real big to like really nothing, then you start going bigger. And I'm a comedian, and so I just like, and so when whenever I see an opportunity and I'm comfortable with a person, I tend to go too far. But but then it's hard for them to get mad. But then it's always then they never get mad, because I try to get real clever about it. And so I don't just like, I'm not some asshole who just like says something mean, and it's like, no, I was just kidding. It's like, no, you just were. That's called that you're just looking for a chance to be a dick. And so I try to avoid that. But if it's not like genuinely funny, I avoid it. But yeah, man. What is it? Yeah, we'll get back on to everything else. What is your what is it about music that really draws you, that really captures your attention, that really drives you to produce it, do you think?
I've never really found myself to be good at much else. Okay, I mean, like, no, okay, that's not right. I'm good at other stuff, but like, I don't care about anything as much as I care about music. Like, my love for music is way above and beyond anything else in life. Like, I'll drop anything to go to do a show or go to a meeting. Like, I don't care what it is. I could be in the middle of a date and boom, I gotta go. Like I got stuff to do.
The career's coming, baby.
Music was always there for me when nobody else was, and
she's over there like, if I had a nickel.
Like, growing up, when I had those problems, I didn't have a lot of friends that like could relate to me or could like, could give me the advice, because they haven't gone through what I was going through. And so I'd just go up to my room and I'd write down in my notepad what was going on, and that always made me feel better. I think that kept me level-headed for the most part. And to be honest, I think if it wasn't for music, I probably wouldn't be here anymore. If I'm being completely honest with you, I've been in that dark space, and I've dealt with my demons.
Definitely, yeah.
And
man.
Music was always my strongest weapon against those demons.
Oh, yeah.
I think without it, my life would be non-existent or a hell of a lot different.
Yeah, it's always without those kind of things. It always is scary to think of how things could be.
Yeah.
definitely. And then coming from that kind and saying being in that kind of a bully situation is definitely, you know, a much more. It's definitely something deeper than a kid at school.
And I wouldn't change anything. I mean, to be honest, if it wasn't for the situations that I was in, I couldn't be able to help as many people as I have.
Right, you needed that experience.
I wouldn't be able to talk to the kids on the level that I'm able to, just
Definitely.
because I actually know what I'm talking about. A lot of people get up in front of people and not like actually have gone through those things, so like it's hard for them to connect.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I mean, it makes it way easier to connect with kids. And not even just kids. I mean, I talk to people in college and stuff too. Like,
right.
And grown adults. Like I talk to everybody. Like I'm not just here for kids specifically. I like to connect with anybody and everybody I can.
Definitely. And so, as far as the school traveling goes, what's like the youngest that you go to? What's
the youngest?
Like
I mean, I do all ages. Mainly I've been doing middle school a lot.
Yeah.
Last one
feel
was
like
like
the pretty
6th,
prime
7th
time.
grade. Yeah, I mean that's really when kids start having problems. That's when
Right.
it kind of starts. So it's good to hit it at the source. But I mean, yeah, I'd talk to elementary kids too if I had if they needed me to. I'd go in there and talk to them. High school kids, I'll go anywhere. College, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Oh yeah, that's dope, man.
For the most part, it's been middle school.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Have it as far as performing between. Then so do you perform at when you do middle schools and stuff? You also perform music things. Yeah.
I started out with an acapella every time.
Oh really?
Kids are talking. And I don't like to be that
Definitely.
dude because I remember when I was in school and someone comes up, they go, "Please be quiet. I'm gonna give you to the count of 3." Like, no, I don't do that. I go in there, I just start busting immediately. And that's how I captivate everybody's attention.
That's a much better way of doing it. I cannot blame you.
I'll talk and talk and talk about what I got, about what I have to say and about how about mental health, bullying, suicide stuff. I talk about all that, and then at the end of it, I finish it off with a song, or I'll do 2 and 3 songs throughout it, just depending on how I'm filling out the crowd.
Right. Yeah. That definitely, and that sounds like it'd be a much more fun assembly to go to than I would say any assembly I've ever been to. Because the Ames Middle School, they had money. It was like the new school. Like they were fine. It's just that typically the assembly was either like really sad or was about something where you just didn't give a shit.
No, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I used to hate assemblies growing up.
But like a rap assembly. Well, it's like no, maybe it's anti-bullying, but at the same time you can be like, yeah, and then you get to jam to it with a rap with rap music, like a live performance at the same time. Actually sounds fun to me.
No, that's exactly what hip hop does. I mean, that's why they call it hip hop. Like it's supposed to be hope with the byproduct of fun. That's
yeah, man.
The kids are supposed to enjoy it. Like how you expect to reach out to anyone if they don't even like you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a comedian named John Mulaney. If you ever feel like checking out a stand-up special on Netflix, he's real funny. But he has a bit about like how assembly back in the day would be like, they would pull you out of class to go, all of you together to go sit in a room and listen to a guy who you do not know all day, and then he'll come out and be like, I used to smoke crack. And then go into like, I've been clean now for 17 weeks. Well, weekdays, not weekends. That's Johnny's time. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the guy who came to speak at my middle school when I was back there, because they have some really weird motherfuckers. And then you spend your whole time, all your life, being told not to talk to strangers, and now you have to give all your attention to this drug abusing stranger. And
yeah, I mean, you make a point.
It's weird for a 12-year-old.
I mean, I wasn't trying to bag on other assemblies. I mean,
I
think it's great what everybody's trying to do.
I am trying to bag on other assemblies.
I mean, their intentions are good. I mean, that's
right.
So that's cool. But.
So Coldsaint does not sign on to my opinions. He's just taking them, I guess. I can't think. Yeah, he's around. But he's not involved. No, I agree, but I agree with you. They're trying to do something good. They think they're trying to do something good. Like it just all it is it just sometimes when you think back seems a little misled. Maybe they missed the mark a little on some of them. But again, that's just me saying how much more fun that having you do one would have been. And so, but but again, that's coming from a music lover where all I did in school was try to start a band and play guitar and sing and do all that shit, and like that's all I gave a shit about anyway. So it was hard to catch my attention.
No, yeah, I get that.
So I probably wasn't gonna be satisfied regardless. But yeah, man, when you started doing the school, like touring around the schools and stuff, how'd that all get started? Was that as a part of one of the programs, or is that something you had the idea for and just kind of started pursuing personally?
So, before my manager was my manager, he was just my mentor, and I used to go to his house all the time. We'd be there for like 8 hours, just every single time, just like, let me teach you this, let me teach you this, so you don't get screwed over in the industry.
Grinding it out, yeah.
And then, one time we're listening to my music, we're in the booth, we're in the studio, and he's all like, "You're kind of anti-bully," and I was like, "I am." I mean, like, I'm like, really? And he's like playing back my lyrics for me. He's all like, dude, he's like, that's definitely anti-bully. He's
right?
like, your whole song is like, my whole theme is tragedy to triumph. Like, I'm always talking about coming over some kind of obstacle or some kind of hater or somebody. Like, I'm talking about someone trying to bring me down and how I ain't gonna let it happen.
Definitely.
And he's like, that's anti-bully. And I was like, I guess so. And I mean, it works because I do care about it. And a lot of people will just have to hook on to something like that so they can get clout.
True.
And
Very
true.
true.
At least I actually care about it.
True.
So I mean, it's a win-win. I like it.
It's perfect.
I mean, I don't like bullying, but like I like helping with it.
Right, yeah. Like, let's just say this: if it wasn't for bullying, I wouldn't be able to do this. All right, no, I'm just kidding. Just saying. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's not. So when it came to when it comes to your writing process. Where do you like to be? What kind of do you like to be in a certain mind state, or you got a room where you like shut out the world?
So I'm weird. All right,
I'd go for
I mean, I can write wherever, but my most productive time is when I sit in my room by myself. I got this big leather chair in my bedroom.
Nice.
And I turn off the lights and I sit in the dark and I write.
In the dark.
In the dark.
You don't even have like you don't have like a lamp light.
Nope.
Is it like
I either use it, I write on my phone or
okay, there you go.
So I mean I'm not writing in the dark.
Okay.
I mean sometimes I'll write on my notepad, just sometimes depending on how I'm feeling. Like sometimes writing it is way better than typing it.
Definitely.
But no, most of the time I'm sitting in my room in the dark and just blaring the beat in my room so I can hear nothing but the beat and I'm just going.
Hell yeah, man.
And that's how I had to put myself in the mood to whatever I'm gonna write about. So like if I'm like feeling down that day, I have to put myself really, really, really down so I can get that raw message out. And so I have to like put myself in a mood sometimes.
Right.
Or if I'm really happy, I gotta hype myself up before I start writing.
Definitely. Hell yeah. That is like, imagine someone like jumping around like fucking in a pitch black room.
Let's do it. I mean, when it's hype, I got the lights on. But like,
okay.
Most of my stuff is, I mean, if you've heard my music, most of it's pretty serious.
Right. There, so
I'm working on getting that versatility out there.
Definitely.
And just changing it up.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I get that. I get that. Yeah. It's it's all about doing it. And then I definitely see like, cause I do it too. If I'm like if I feel like I'm writing like too much in one area, I definitely flip it and try to go the other way for a while. So that way I don't get too stuck in like in something certain, because I always hit a wall. And so it's good. It's really good to mix it up. But yeah, man, it's just like, and on your phone it makes sense too. It's just like I do find it I find it really funny when I write something down in the dark and then look at it the next morning, because it always looks like shit. And
my writing looks bad in general, so.
Oh, so it works out
I write
perfectly.
like a child.
You can just tell everyone that you wrote it in the dark. But no, it's good. At least you have that. At least you have that going. And I actually like the idea of it being almost like cutting out the other senses, and then you just like are centered in on the emotion and everything.
Like, even if I got company over, like, and I got something I need to write, I'll be like, yo, I gotta go for a second, and like, I'll go to my room and I will lock the door. All right, anybody tries to come in my room, you're not getting in. All right, I'm busy. All right, I'm in my zone. I've had people knock on the door and I'm like, first time I just ignore it. You knock on my door a second time, I'm gonna answer it mad. I'm gonna be like, what are you doing? I'm like, obviously I locked it. Like,
take a message. It's like when you got headphones on.
I gotta
someone
put
keeps
a sock
tapping.
on the door. Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like fucking like Did you see anyone else come in the front door? He's got a sock on his handle. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. All right. And then, what is your opinion on the current state? What's your opinion on the current I guess just like how hip hop's been going. Do you think it's starting to get back to starting to get better, or do you think we were in a slump for a while where mumble rap was taking over?
You know, that's mostly just an opinion, but
Very much
personally,
an opinion,
I feel like a lot of mumble rap gets too much hype. But you know, if it works for them, it works for them.
Definitely,
but,
yeah.
You know, I definitely like lyrical rap to take more of a comeback. You know,
Very much.
I don't want someone. See, I hate when I go into places and I'm like, I'm a rapper. Like I go on to get sponsors, and I'm gonna shout them out here in a second. I
Go for it, yeah.
About that. But you know, I go in to get sponsors or something like that, and I'm like, you guys looking for a promotional opportunity? And they're like, all right, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a rapper. Immediately, their face, they're like, oh my gosh. All right, let's get it over with. Like, it's sure what he's got
another
say.
one.
Yeah, they think
right this way.
like when you think rap, you don't think like, you know, passion. Like you don't think of messages.
Yeah.
You think of people going, I get it, I did it, like, and then they think of people.
A lot of imagery.
You think pistol packing, drug addicts. You think about, you know, gang activity. You just think about all this rotten. I mean, part of that is hip hop. You know, that is hip hop. I'm not gonna be able to change that.
Right.
But,
exactly.
You know,
yeah.
I just. You know, mumble rap, I don't like being looked at like, oh my God, we got like one of these dudes in here.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
exactly.
You know, I wish that would change. I mean, when people think of rap, I wish they'd think of it in more of a respectful way.
Yeah.
Like, rap is an art, all right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people are taking away the creativity in rap these days.
Yeah.
I think it's bogus, but
I agree.
you know, there's still the real ones out there. You know?
Yeah,
So
big time. Well, I'll put here, and I'll even put it this way. This is something that I've known that for a long time. But it's always the loudest guy in the room probably knows the least. And so like the worst musician is gonna be trying real hard to get his name out there, but they're not really gonna be writing. And so it's that balance that you really gotta hit of being passionate about your music and actually making a product that's worth promoting, and then also putting enough passion behind promoting yourself that shows that you actually believe in what you just did. And what a lot of people do is they put out something as quick as they can. They don't really find themselves losing themselves into the process or putting out a good product, and then they have to try to sell it, and then they get rushed into this side where they want to be famous, but they haven't put in half the time or even a quarter of the time than anyone who is famous has put in, but they're impatient and they're jealous, and they have all these other things going on. And so, you know, honestly, when I meet an artist like at 19, you are 19, right? I got that right? Okay, cool. I want to make sure I remember correctly. Excuse me. But especially at your age, that you're doing, you're putting out good music. Like I was listening to you on my way home from work today. I was really into it. I could definitely tell you had an anti-bullying message behind it, because I had that in my head because I had read it before with your bio and everything when I was researching you. But you know, it is something prevalent, and to hear that. And like to have your passion in your mind sitting down, like be as bashful as you want, pretend, you know, like I get how it can be for some creative types that are doing well to take a compliment, but genuinely, it's a message I love to get behind and that I love to support, and so that's why I'm happy to have you on. And so it's really cool to me that even at you started so young, you found your passion, you're actually pursuing it, you're actually making something you're proud of, and you're taking genuine moves of promoting it. And so that's awesome.
Yeah, we're about to be making a lot of moves this year, man.
Hell
it's
yeah,
gonna
man.
Be busy.
What you got coming up?
So I mean, here in a couple weeks, I'm actually going to LA. We already bought the plane ticket and everything, and I'm working on getting a shoe deal with Vlado.
Vlado,
you know Vlado?
I know Vlado.
Yeah,
I was man, I think I had a pair. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah, they got some dope kicks, dude. Like I'm
do.
working on getting that shoe deal, and we're gonna be going up there and working with these kids that are in
That'd be fucking
Disney
sick,
about
man.
this whole We're gonna be talking about anti-bullying and gang violence and all that, and just how it's been a bag. How like we're trying to address that epidemic, and
Hell
so
yeah,
we're gonna
dude.
go up there. And we're starting to do some real big things up there.
Dude,
And I mean,
yeah.
I might even be going to go hang out at Snoop Dogg's compound.
Really?
Which would be pretty cool. Maybe.
Shit,
You know,
man.
you
Right?
know.
Yeah, like yeah. How can't have too expectations too
Maybe.
high for something like that because you don't want to be too disappointed.
Then I'll be going back in a couple months, or in June or July, and going to the BET Awards.
Really?
So that'll be cool.
That'll be really
Going to
cool.
go check that out.
Fuck
But,
yeah, buddy.
Nah, man, the last show I threw at Lefties, you know, was a big success. That was my first actual official like Coldsaint show.
Really?
Like I've headlined before,
Yeah.
but this is the first one I put all the money into it,
Nice.
and I hired the entire crew. I organized everything.
That's
And,
impressive, man.
And I ended up being able to buy a car with the money from that show. Just
Just
on
with
its
the money
own.
from that show?
Just from that show.
That's dope.
And
man.
so I mean, it was pretty successful. I think the next one's gonna be even bigger. May 1st, I'm throwing one at Lefties again,
Oh, you're good.
and it's gonna be like a neon stoplight hip hop party.
Oh
yeah,
I saw that event actually.
I just feel like that could be. You know what a stoplight party is?
I'm familiar with the concept, but it's been a while.
So like at the door, they give you like a wristband, and you know it's green for singles, yellow for complicated, red for taken. I just think that could be a cool theme. I haven't seen a hip hop show do it, so I wanted to try it
Yeah,
and just see how that turns out.
definitely.
And you know, I'm looking at cutting out all the lights in the venue and just putting up a bunch of black lights.
That's
So
where it's
people wear
at,
neon.
man.
I want everything to be popping.
Definitely.
I'm gonna be releasing a new merch design at the show. So there's all these. Everybody that comes to that show is gonna be the first to get it. It's gonna be really dope. You know,
Fuck
we're gonna
yeah.
get it in, man. Like,
That's
it's
gonna-
gonna be pretty lit. So
Fuck,
I mean,
man, yeah, you got me. Yeah, like fucking, you got me. I want your Velados now. If you get the shoe deal, you gotta let me know right away because I'm gonna order something.
if you all, I mean, if is ever listening, y'all looking to get lit May 1st. All right, I'm telling you, hit me up. And like today or tomorrow or you know whenever this goes up, just hit me up and I could hook you up with a 25% discount if you
Fuck yeah.
DM me on Instagram at Coldsaint Official or on Facebook at Coldsaint. You can find my socials at coldsaint.com. You know, it's gonna be a good time. I want to start doing these shows more regularly.
Hell yeah.
And just start setting up my own tours and all that.
Yeah, man.
And I just want to keep spreading from starting in Iowa. I mean, I do a bunch of shows in Iowa. Okay?
Right.
I do shows all the time in Iowa, but I'm looking at just starting to branch out and throwing my own shows and just starting to move
Exactly,
little by
yeah.
little until I can start doing
Yeah.
tours around. Because I mean, I've done tours. I did a Midwest tour a few months back to North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska, and you know, I've done shows in Illinois and all that, and
That's awesome.
you know, like the Thailand thing. You know, I
Right,
travel a
yeah.
lot, but now I'm looking to like set up, really start growing that fan base and
Fuck yeah,
just
buddy.
start, you know, taking those steps.
Exactly.
And but yeah, the next show should be pretty fun.
Yeah,
I hope
dude.
to see a lot of people there.
Yeah, you're keeping it moving for sure. Fuck
But
yeah.
we've also got this plan. We're starting this anti-bully movement kind of thing, but I'm not allowed to talk about all of it. But
Oh, okay. Well,
we plan on filming my music video for Greatness in this automated house in Norwalk. We just got to get a hold of the right people. So this house, it's like an $800,000 house, man.
really?
It's got the windows, like you aim a remote at them and you can tint them with the remote. Like it's nuts. And so
Shit.
I don't know if you're aware, but Aquaman and Superman are both from Norwalk.
I did not know that.
And so what I want to do is I want to bring them in by. So when I want to raise this budget, I want to go to Texas. I want to break that single, and
Yeah.
then I want to get enough views to reach out to them and have them be cameos in the music video.
That'd be
And
dope.
I think that could be really dope. And then
Definitely.
I want to take that song that's talking about like anti-bullying, tragedy to triumph, and I want to take it onto Ellen. And I want to take it
Ooh,
on
wow.
there, and I want to, you know, just talk with her about all this anti-bullying
Shit.
stuff. I think that could be really cool.
If you made it on
that's-
Ellen, bud,
Hey,
end of the game right there. Fucking
Hey,
just
man,
whatever
that's-
else you do after that is just to give the people that are checking you out something to look at. You know
hey,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the plan, man. I mean, we want to go big, so. I mean, I'm taking
My
all the
parents would
steps
know
I
you.
can.
My parents would know who you are if you. Well, my mom would know who you were if you were on Ellen. Like that's the kind of thing that Ellen does. Like fucking like, but like, and that's not to say like old people. It's like that's like everybody. You know, so that's good shit, bud. So and I'll definitely be pushing for you too. Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, and I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors. You know, 804 Main. You know, I still work there. You know, 2 days a week, I still work a job. I mean, And you know, they got
Gotta pay the
they got
bills,
the Angus burgers down there. Like, oh my gosh, it's good. It's up
Fuck
in
yeah, bud.
Norwalk on Main Street. But you know, they've been really supportive of my career, and so is the Norwalk shop. You know, they run all my merch. They sponsor the shows. So is Exit Realty in Norwalk. They sponsor my shows as well. I mean, they've been really supportive. Hildreth Garage, that's one of my sponsors. El Dorado, the Mexican restaurant that's opening up in Norwalk, they also sponsored me. I mean, I even got Entity Nail Bar, a nail salon, to sponsor me a year ago.
That's
so,
pretty
you know,
cool.
shout out to them. Shout out to Felagio's. You know, shout out to everybody that's been supporting me. Appreciate all you guys. And, but yeah, those are all my sponsors. I just want to make sure I got that away so I don't forget.
Yeah,
But-
definitely. Yeah, we got your plugs in there, got your website, got your tags, got the what, like everyone you're working with, and then we got your shows, and you got your sponsors. Is there anything else that you got coming up that you want to get on here while we got you?
No, man, just the LA thing and then that show. I mean, we got other stuff in the works, but it's not set in stone yet.
Definitely. Well, send me any kind of links or any kind of information I can share. I'll gladly put it on the podcast pages. I have Contagious Promotions. I started out, actually, the whole way I got led into even doing this was I started out with trying to set up shows locally for rappers and whatever it was, a bluegrass band. I almost got set up. But I put on one show at DG's Tap House here in Ames before it got shut down. They're reopening again soon, so I'll probably be working with them again here. I'm trying to get slowly getting set up, working with AJ's, another nightclub. So I know some pretty good. I know like some good real dudes, some real artists that are really just doing their shit, and they're also locals, man. So I can help you out if you ever need, if you're ever looking for a couple people to add on, if you're ever having trouble finding someone or whatever, if you need any, whatever I can do to help, I'll be happy to help you out. I definitely would.
I'll take all the support I can
Yeah,
get, man.
I can definitely get behind. I can definitely get behind a movement like you got going on there. So with the anti-bullying and everything, I'm definitely, so it's all gratis, of course. So, I'll be here, man. But yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Hey,
thanks for coming
having
in.
me, man.
Yeah, no, it was it was a lot of fun. And then with the because obviously it was it's kind of a drive, and obviously you're willing to get your name out there and with the travel. So that's great. Check them out. All social media. Coldsaint, spelled how it sounds, COLDSAINT. And then check us out at They Came From the Underground, Facebook and Instagram, or TCFTU Podcast on Twitter because the name was too long. Then go ahead.
I feel like my team would be pretty pissed off at me if I didn't drop some kind of acapella or something on here. So would that be cool?
Go for it, dude.
All right.
I mean, where should I start? Pain in my chest and my brain and my heart. So I sit in my car, man, I write down these bars. For most of my life, I've been falling apart. Most of my life, I've been talking to God. Talking about life. Talking about why does it feel like a knife? It's been stuck inside my pipes, bro, I can barely speak. Every time I do, they ain't listening to me. Like what you want to see? You want to hear me lie? You want me to smile? Say I'm alright? You want me to laugh when I'm up on the mic? Maybe mumble rap, get the fans all hype. Man, that just ain't me. It just ain't right. I gotta keep it real or the brand might die. Got a lot of fans to be up all night. Sitting in their room with tears in their eyes so they hit my line. Talking like, hey, my stepdad's a brick, okay? He beats on my mom and sometimes his kids. So I appreciate the raps he can spit. Not a lot of rappers rapping like this who goes into schools and talk to the kids. I really relate, man. Your stuff is legit, bro. I do it for them. Kids like them. Kids like me getting bullied in the schools, at their homes, at their jobs, by their friends. I tell them what to do so it just hasn't happened again. Man, I want to see you win. You can catch all my content at coldsaint.com, Coldsaint Official on Instagram, Coldsaint on Facebook.
Fuck yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, that was great. Hell yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week, and goodbye.
I've been running for a while now, and I see no reasons for no time out. I just work all day, grind away till my dying day. That's my life, that's my game, that's the price I pay. Look, my skin is thick like a book, your damage ain't leaving me shook. I ain't that bad, I'm just misunderstood. I'm not a jerk, I'm just blunt like some wood, won't lie to your face. Nah, I'll tell you the truth, I never forget like an elephant do. Wait, I think that I hear a who. You talking about me? Here, let me see, I was born in Indianola, raised in a town called Norwalk. Rumors went around, but it's all talk. Step dabbing my mom like a doorstop. It was non-stop, not a week went by where I didn't call cops. Every day we fought. School was a drag on my grades all flopped. Reached out to my dad, but I guess I called drop. Pause, I won't lay hands on a woman. If you say that I did, then you tripping. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm up on that grind, but you rappers keep slipping. Lyrics incline on my passion is driven by people who hate and who say I ain't winning. Y'all eat my dust, it's a race to the finish. I run out of ink, then it's time to replenish. Hey, I've been making rhymes all day. Haters stay out my way. I'm just trying to pave my lane. You say you want change, but you just complain. Mighty dark clouds surround your brain. This what you do, grab life by the reins and yank them boys back till you don't see the rain. Continue to push till you erase the pain. Pause.
Make some noise if you've been feeling good. Make some noise, you doing things you should. Make some noise, no more holding back. Make some noise, cause I'ma kill this track.
Put your hands up, homie, stand up, get your camera. I'm the man of this year. The vision of the future is clear. This year I'ma put things in gear. So put down your phone, give me your ears. I'm living my life, won't give in to my fears. Y'all do the same, quit with the games. You're hearing alive and that's great. Okay, stepping on hate like a landmine. When I cut the talk, it's all landmine. Ain't no mountain that I can't climb. Got hate that I've stored on standby. And I land rhymes when I can't find the light inside my mind. Lights go out and then I'm blind. Think I should spit this verse in 3 times. Since I'm rapping, I've grown much more confident. I use my anger to push towards accomplishments. People that hated now see what is obvious. I got no interest in people who doubted this. Only the ones who respect in the name. If you down with my brand, then respect you a game. I am here for you guys. If you're ever in pain, then hit your boy up and I'll loosen those chains. Rewind, let me take you back to the first line. First I need to see your hands up. Throw your hands up, then a wave for the cameras. Alright, okay, first line, rewind.
I've been running for a while now, and I see no reasons for no time out. I just work all day, grind away till my dying day. That's my life, that's my game, that's the price I pay. Make some noise if you've been feeling